All right, Stormy Daniels is due back in the witness stand tomorrow after a day to cool off after testimony that the defense team described as highly prejudicial.
It's so hard to say.
I don't know why I got moving for a mistrial. That the judge denied that.
She even admitted under oath that she hates the former president and would like to see him go to jail if he's convicted.
Here to discuss is the host of the Hannity program, Sean Hannity. Sean, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Oh, we're doing Go ahead.
Can I just add, you hit on something really important. She hates Donald Trump, but my favorite line on cross-examination yesterday is when she admitted that she was coached by the prosecution in terms of what to say. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is theater. There's not a single thing that Stormy Daniels said yesterday that is relevant to the charges as we understand it, meaning a bookkeeping error. Right. She got totally devastated on cross-examination. You know, let me just pull out here. This is our January 2018 letter. The fact of the matter is each party to this alleged affair denied its existence in 2006, 2011, 2016, 2017, and 2018 because denying this affair, not because I was paid hush money, because it never happened.
Right.
Why was she in the courtroom? She was there for one reason, and this should scare every American. She was there to humiliate and embarrass Donald Trump. They want to, if they could, they would like to keep Donald Trump in a courtroom for the next 180 days so he cannot campaign. You look at the judge in this case. The judge is a Biden donor. Serious allegations that his family, his daughter in this particular case, would benefit financially. The statute of limitations on this misdemeanor have long run out. You got a convoluted legal theory based on federal law, of which the DA in New York City has no jurisdiction at all. Not even the smartest lawyers on Fox News can even tell you what the real charges are. And it's a very scary moment for the country, because we're watching and witnessing the full and complete weaponization of our justice system. When we think of other countries and kangaroo courts, this is it, and it's happening right here in our country, and it's unfolding in real time, and it's pretty scary to me.
Sean, the judge came out and said, yeah, you're right about them getting into details about the relationship may or may not have happened, but he told the defense you should have objected more. I thought that was odd.
Okay, first of all, they did object a lot, and he didn't go along with any of their objections. Professor Dershowitz was on my show last night. He pointed out there's only a certain number of objections that the defense should make before they have to realize that the judge is not going to go along their way and just move forward. But, think about what's happened here. You have the third highest ranking DOJ official in the Biden Justice Department brought in to argue this case. Well, that's prejudicial, to use your term earlier, Steve, in this case. Everything is tainted with politics. No real charges. Statute of limitations gone. A Biden donor judge. And I'm like, wow, this is happening in the United States of America. Why don't we just take our Constitution and shred it? Because this is when we talk about weaponization of our justice system, this is it on steroids and human growth hormone. What happened yesterday, what will happen tomorrow, is nothing but an utter disgrace. It is a sham. It is unbelievable that it could happen in our country. And the fact that more people on the left don't say it, speak out against it, speaks volumes, as long as it's not happening to them now.
Sean, what's your reaction to what happened? Georgia's on hold now. It looks like Florida is on hold. That was supposed to start in 2 weeks.
Documents.
Now, exactly. The classified documents case, that's on hold. This isn't really panning out the way that they thought it was going to, and his poll numbers are good. It's not really hurting him.
Yeah. This is the amazing thing about, this race. We really are living through history here. And I always say, and I've said it on your program before, Donald Trump defies all conventional political gravity. Everything that we think we knew about politics, throw it out the window. Donald Trump gets arrested, his poll numbers go up. Donald Trump gets a mugshot, his poll numbers go up. He gets arraigned, his poll numbers go up. He's on trial in New York City in an 8-year-old case that was long settled. Okay, his poll numbers go up. And this is the great danger for Democrats, because the American people, I give them a lot of credit. They're very smart. They see through this. The polls show that most Americans do not believe he can get a fair trial or that he's getting a fair trial. Right. I think that is coming through loud and clear. What happened yesterday should be an embarrassment for the prosecution and those people involved in the case. But, yeah, I would argue probably the Florida case is over. I would argue, let's see what the Supreme Court does on these two cases that involve January 6th. And the immunity case, I think they lose there, and I don't think Fani Willis's case is particularly strong, or I think it's got a lot of problems in terms of moving forward as well. Indeed.
Okay, so Trump's number is going up. Joe Biden's numbers are actually going down. We've got a poll that shows that his support with Black and Hispanic voters, you know, in 2020, he had 87%. Now he's dropped 23%, Joe has. And then, as you can see right there, when it comes to Hispanic voters, 2020, he had almost 60, and he's about 25 behind that as well. And so, Sean, the current president is going to go to Illinois. He's going to shake the money tree. He's going to do some fundraising. But then he's going to go, as is the vice president, to Wisconsin, because they are so sure that it's going to be close in the election. They're trying to turn everybody out. And Peter Doocy, 40 minutes ago, told us that apparently at the Biden campaign, they are worried that given that Joe could actually lose a state or two, it could wind up being a tie in the Electoral College.
Steve, can we not go there yet?
I know. How crazy is that?
I'm actually hoping for a wipeout. I hope the American people realize this. Fundamentally, you got to ask yourself the simple question that we ask every election: are you better off than you were 4 years ago? Look at law and order, safety and security. Are your cities and towns more safe and more secure? We know the answer. Dismantle, defund the police, no bail laws, that's not working out. Look at the over 10 million unvetted Joe Biden illegal immigrants, tens of thousands coming from our top geopolitical foes. Has he done a good job securing our border? No, he hasn't. Has he done a good job on the economy? No. 60% of Americans are struggling just to make ends meet. And many Americans now are putting bare necessities on their credit cards. They're struggling more than they have in decades. Look at the state of the world. All of this came out in the ABC poll. Donald Trump is up dramatically on every major issue. We have war in the Middle East. We have war in Europe. We have a president now that has surrendered in the war on terrorism, which is a sad moment when an American president abdicates his role as the leader of the free world, in my view.
Sean, I know you have this new historical drama series on Fox Nation. It's called Outlaws and the Lawmen, the West. The first one premieres today on Fox Nation, and another episode will drop each Wednesday night. Tell us about it.
You know, when I was first approached by Fox to do this, I was a little bit hesitant. I'm like, am I the right guy for this? Now, I happen to love Westerns. I was the biggest Yellowstone fan. I was like a super fan, you know, waiting for every new episode to drop so I could watch it. And if I had 24 hours, I would talk Kevin Costner into staying a little bit longer and doing a couple of more seasons. Not that he would listen to me. So, you know, I've always had an interest in this. It was very cool. They brought me to the set of where Tombstone, the movie, was shot. Yeah. And while we know about people like Billy the Kid and Pat Garrett and Wild Bill Hickok and Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, in the process, I found that not only did I like watching these movies over the years, but I got so interested in the full and complete story. Right. And that's what Outlaws and Lawmen is really all about. And what I love also about it is it shows the spirit of the American West. Go West, young man. And the idea that post-Civil War, so many people would leave behind everybody they knew and everything that they knew. They'd take that perilous journey out west, not knowing what would happen. And it shows that rugged individualist spirit. And I really have great admiration for all the people that did that.
Tell me you're on a horse. Just tell me you're on a horse.
I was on a horse when I went out. There is video of me on a horse when I was at the border with Border Patrol.
I remember that.
No kidding. This horse took off on me out of nowhere. I'm like hanging on for dear life, and thank God 2 of the immigration officials caught up with me and were able to stop the horse for me, because that horse was not listening to Sean Hannity.
Nelly. All right, we'll check it out on Fox Nation.
Nelly, exactly.
Check it out on Fox Nation. It's called Outlaws and Lawmen. Sean Hannity
There's Sean in his outlawish looking outfit.
Right, he's got an outlaw wardrobe.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. He bought that for the shoot.
Well, if you know the real me, and all of you do, you know that I don't put on a suit unless I'm forced to.
We're all the same.
I certainly don't like. Yeah, and I hang out in jeans. I do wear cowboy boots, and that's the real.
And
Sean
you do
Hannity.
make citizens arrests if you see crime. You'll do it.
All right. And Brian, if I could, I'd arrest you tomorrow.
I know you won't, Sean. I know, but you would never press charges.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Sean.
Thanks, Sean.
No.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.